Okay, so this is actually pretty fresh in my mind right now, so I want to go ahead and talk about this while it's still there. So, as you guys know, 2024 is coming to an end, and this is supposed to be the very last year for the Nintendo Switch to be a thing until we get the next console coming out, which is supposed to be next year. Now, as far as I know, we don't know when the Switch 2 will be coming out, but as far as we already know, it's going to be a it's going to be an upgrade to the Nintendo Switch itself, and it's also going to be backwards compatible for the Switch for the old Switch games, which is it makes a lot of sense here in this way. One of the big concerns that I have though is how Nintendo is going to handle the name of the console, and also how they're going to advertise the new system. If you guys remember what happened to the Wii U, well, unfortunately, the Wii U didn't really do well marketing wise because the system people thought of it like a simple upgrade to the Nintendo Wii, but it was actually more of an HD version of the Wii itself, and I think it's rather suffice to say that the Wii U definitely had a lot of issues even during launch. It really is unfortunate because that system actually had some great games that eventually led to the Switch becoming a thing. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about games like the Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, which are not on the Switch as of yet. I'm hoping they will be at some point, but I'll talk more about that in just a moment. We also had games like Splatoon. If it weren't for Splatoon 1 on the Wii U, we probably wouldn't have Splatoon 2 and 3 on the Switch today. There is another game, though, that I wish would have still remained to this day, and that game is actually called Nintendo Land. So Nintendo Land, it's basically like it's a virtual reality version of Super Nintendo World in Universal Studios Orlando, if that's how you want to put it. But honestly, at the time, I thought the game was really fun. It was very, very charming too because the Mii's were there. It felt like you're in an actual amusement park while playing the game itself, and I felt like it was one of those games that had like a lot of potential, but sadly though, it just went to waste altogether when the Wii U just came to an end afterwards. It's definitely a system that I really miss a lot now when I think back on it. But honestly, though, credit where credit is due, the Wii U deserves some respect where respect is needed for it. I mean, think about it. Without the Wii U, we would not have the Switch today. But besides that, though, the Switch 2 definitely sounds pretty promising from what we know. As for what we might get for the Switch next year from Nintendo, that's still to be determined. The only game that we know we're going to be getting next year is Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. But other than that, though, Nintendo has not said anything else after that. And to me, I think it's safe to say that that's a sure sign that the Switch will be at its end at some point. I'm gonna be honest with you guys about this too. I'm definitely gonna miss the Switch era for sure because personally, the Nintendo Switch was a system that really helped me get through my college years. When I entered college back in like 2008, I was struggling very hard, mostly because of family issues. My dad just went through a second divorce at the time, and it was just a huge mess, not just for me, but for everyone else in the family. But but the 3DS, the Wii U, and the Nintendo Switch altogether, these three systems helped me get through those years, and it's really that alone that will make me become very thankful for the Switch. And on top of it, too, I actually made some really good friends for the thanks to those systems. And to see this all come to an end, it's like, wow, we've come so far, and Nintendo actually made it through some really hard times when other video game companies were really struggling with their own games themselves. It's really sad, but unfortunately, Sony and Microsoft, whatever they did with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X or whatever the hell it's called now, they did it to themselves, and now they have to pay the price for dropping the soap at such a bad time now. As for Nintendo, I'm hoping that things will continue to get better for them. We've had a lot of games this year. It has been a great year for Nintendo, as far as I know. We had games like the Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake, a remaster of the Game Boy Advance version. We also got Princess Peach Showtime, which is her second game that she's gotten now. I don't know if they're gonna remaster Super Princess Peach. I think Super Princess Peach deserves to be remastered. There's some things about Princess Peach that I probably haven't discussed yet that I think people should know about. But yeah, it's been a wonderful year for Nintendo, and I'm really hoping that the Switch 2 will be just as good as the Switch. Though, of course, there is the risk of it not doing as well as the Switch itself. I mean, if you guys think about it, there's always been this pattern where, like, the next gen consoles, like for example, the Super NES didn't do as well as the NES did. I don't know why, but all these consoles together, when you think about it, the Super NES, the NES, the GameCube, the N64, all these systems together, it's what made Nintendo. And it really surprises me that they're still doing well today, despite the hard times we're going through, at least with the gaming industry. But yeah, so anyway, all I have to say is thank you, Nintendo, for a great year. And here's hoping to a wonderful 2025 to you. Let me drink a little bit of water just for your sake. All right. This is Major League Gaming, logging out. Thank you for watching.